What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and in this video we're going to talk about three different cryptos. In order, we'll talk about Zora, KTA, then Cookie DAO. Say it with me. Zora, KTA, Cookie DAO. Those three cryptos are the ones that we're going to be talking about, okay? Zora first, and then we'll move on. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. And let's get into it. Okay, here we are. 6.2 cents right now, 7 hours and 31 minutes left in the day. If we look at the relative low here to the relative high here, we are finding support now in the golden ratio zone. Zora, in my opinion, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, has found its low. I think that's it. I don't believe that we go lower. I very much am confident that that's the low, and we're at an immaculate area to find support, not just because we're in the golden ratio zone, but we're also right at this level where we had prior closing resistance and closing support and support back here as well. So it's a very, what's the word I want to look for? Acceptable level to find support. It's a very acceptable level to find support. I'm actually kind of curious, what about this from a low to a high? What do we have going on here? Hold on, low there to a high there. Nothing. Okay, nothing really relevant to that area there. So just the golden ratio, relatively speaking, which is beautiful. It's a beautiful area to find support, and I think we will. Let's look at the short-term stuff. We'll zoom out. I just want to look at the 4-hour time frame here. Let's see. 4-hour has some bullish divergence. Yes, stochastics are coming up, and the MACD is coming up as well. Bullish divergence there. Definitely believing that you're going to find the low. Definitely believing that you're going to come back from this, okay, move up to the upside. Inevitably, Zora, we should be seeing life from a high to a low. My expectation is that we see something around a 21-cent price to a 32-cent price by the end of the month of November. If we're not at 21 cents or 32 cents by the end of November, it's because we're higher. I have a hard time seeing Zora being at like 75 cents. 50 cents to 46 cents could happen by the end of the month. This is crypto. Crazy things happen, and we've seen those kind of movements happen before, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's focus first on 21 cents to 32 cents as our next target zone to consider, okay? Which, again, means that at a minimum, by the end of the month, you could expect a 3x return on investment. Okay, that's Zora. Fantastic. KTA is the next one, and KTA is in the doghouse today, you guys. It's down this week 29%. This month, 24%. This day, 14%. What a massive dump. It's not the reaction that I was expecting that we'd have from multiple areas. I thought that from here, we would continue to pump going to this Coinbase listing. I really did think that that's what was going to happen. And when we did not pump, we were expecting then a bounce off the golden ratio zone. And I was very confident of this bounce of the golden ratio zone because we did it so well. And on a 4-hour time frame, we had some very severe bullish divergence, which played out. In all fairness, it did play out. The move just wasn't what we thought it would be. And it didn't play out to its full effect. So it's rather disappointing. But here we are. You got to take your licks as they come, man. Don't cry about it, right? There's no sense in crying over spilled cryptos, guys. From a low to a high, here we are at the 886. Now, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but this level needs to hold. 29.8 cents. We need to hold this level. It's okay that we wicked below it. It's okay. We could wick below it again. We don't want a day to close below it, okay? Or if any day closes below it, the next day, the immediate next day needs to close above it. If we get 2 days in a row to close below this, 21 cents and below is coming at us fast. I don't want to see that happen. I don't think anybody does. I'm not expecting that to happen for KTA. There's some big things, big announcements coming up between now and the end of the year. I do think we're at a point to find support here with the RSI, stochastics, and the MACD. I think that we're ready to rally and continue on higher. It's just we've seen a little bit of a drawback today. Probably largely because the rest of the markets have also kind of gone through a crippling downward movement. We do have bullish divergence on the RSI. The stochastics are at a point where we could see some turnaround, but overall bearish. And the MACD is bearish as well, but we are decaying in bearish momentum. I want to look at this on something with some volume. Let's look at this here. Building a little bit of volume here. Not a whole lot of volume on the drop. That's encouraging. That's good to see. So overall, we're expecting fantastic. Oh, okay, what just happened there? We're expecting fantastic things out of KTA. I very much do believe that from here, it's at a very appetizing price to invest in. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but from a high to a low, the expectation here would be that by the end of November, we will at least at a minimum be at $1.14, potentially at a maximum of $3. We could see some crazy stuff happen, you guys. KTA, the reality of the matter, the reality situation here is that this is not its all-time history, right? It had a move up, it consolidated a little bit, and then it also had another move up here. It like looks something like this. I'm not drawing it the best, but if you know the true history, you know what I'm talking about. This overall has actually just been one large consolidation phase. So we really are primed and readied for a breakout of spectacular magnitude. Okay, so we really could see a $3 price by the end of November. If not by the end of November, certainly I would expect that we're there by the end of the year. $3 to a, as crazy as it might sound, guys, 527 target by the end of the year or higher. Okay, when KTA rips through this, I mean, I really do believe that we'll see prices approach $10 very fast. By the end of the cycle, I think KTA will at a minimum be at $10, potentially a maximum of, let's see, I mean, really, you could be, what's your market cap X? You could be a lot higher. KTA is at a $133 million market cap. A 10x is 1.3 billion. 100x is 13 billion. You could see a multi 100x for sure. You could see, I mean, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but this thing could very well go all the way up to $53, $81, and beyond. We could push for $100 by the end of the cycle. As crazy as it sounds, this is a very good project with some very serious prospects, and I wouldn't be surprised in the least, again, if by the end of November we were at anything from $1.14 at a minimum by the end of November, to a maximum of something around like 527 by the end of November. Though I think 527 and beyond is probably reserved for the end of December and the end of the cycle as we progress further. But KTA looking ripe here, looking for a bounce here, okay? If we do go lower, that's fine, but again, we don't want to close any day below 30 cents, okay? We really don't want to do that. Hopefully we can get some turnaround here and by the end of the day come up and then tomorrow continue pushing higher as well. I'm hoping for some kind of a double bottom situation. It is okay to go below 30. It's just we don't want to close below 30, and if we do, we want the next day to come back up immediately. So hopefully we get some kind of double bottom. I do think that what we're forming right now is like a W formation. So when we get above this area here, we should be rapidly approaching that $1.20 and beyond price. And I really do believe that by the middle of this month, we should even be at like $1.20, but we'll see. Anyways, that's KTA. What's the next one? Let's talk about, not Compound. Compound's a sleeper though, maybe. KTA and then Cookie. Cookie last, but certainly not least. Cookie actually, I think, out of all three of these projects has the most potential for growth as far as like buying here and seeing the most returns on investment by the end of the cycle. Now, Cookie DAO has been in a bit of a, let's call it a depressing downtrend, right? Lower lows, lower highs, but it's still well formed. I think if you look at this overall, you can tell who's in charge, right? Who the real movers are in this market, right? Here you had a little bit of a bearish downtrend, but these movements are a little bit more methodical down than the moves up, right? Whenever we move up, we just kind of cut loose the goose, and that thing flies really, really high. I do expect we're going to find support here. I do expect that we're right at a perfect area to find support, being here at kind of a double bottom. Bitcoin right now is just below 103K and pushing lower. I'm sure we'll find support soon. There are a ton of leveraged positions that are getting liquidated right now. Let's just see. $2.1 billion in longs, almost 18 in shorts. Yeah, guys, we are about to see some capitulation. We are about to move back to the upside. We really could push down to $99,000. We could get some kind of massive flash crash here, push down to 99K, or oops, I didn't mean to drop that low. Push down to 99K and bounce there. In the midst of that, Cookie DAO and various other projects might see some lower prices as well. So don't panic. Don't go panicking here. But if we're looking at this overall, Cookie DAO, I very much thoroughly still believe that we will see a $1.65 to a $3.90 price by the end of this year of 2025. Okay, we should be, I would think, from the current price here, come on, we should be anything from like 32 cents to 63 cents, I think, by the end of November. And then going into the end of the year, we should be at, I would think that we see a, you know, it's so far away, a 20x by the end of the year. We could see it. We've seen a 42x in less time. We really could see it. I feel wrong calling for any target less than $1.65 by the end of the year. I really do. It doesn't feel right to me. I think Cookie's going to see some immense potential. We've got this W shape here. Massive, massive W shape. And it's only been building. It's only been getting better. If we're not at $1.65 by the end of the year, certainly sometime in 2026 we'll be there and higher. But I thoroughly do believe we'll see at least 63 to 83 cents by the end of the year. I'm personally looking for a 32 to 63 cent price by the end of November, and then a multi-dollar price by the end of the year, but we'll see how it goes. The short-term stuff, let's look at that real quick. Looking at the 1 hour time frame here. Come on, let's see. Bullish divergence there on the 1 hour MACD. Yes, we've got it. Dropping with decaying in volume. That's nice to see. Bullish divergence on the RSI and the MACD. Beautiful. On the 1 hour, showing signs of a reversal there. Bullish divergence on the 4 hour MACD and on the RSI. Double bullish divergence, actually, showing signs of readiness to reverse from here. And the daily time frame also has bullish divergence on the MACD. You got bullish divergence on every time frame on your MACD. Bullish divergence on the RSI on your 1 hour and your 4 hour. And here on the RSI, you look at like you're at an area to bounce. Same thing at the stochastics. And the MACD doesn't look the best, but there is bullish divergence. That's something to play off of. And again, we're right here where these lows were. So I can't imagine that we go too much lower. I don't really have anything else that I want to say. I think all of these projects, literally, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but I think that anybody buying any and all of these projects right now, you are not going to be upset with yourself by the end of this month, man. It's going to be spectacular. So I got nothing else. Hit the like button. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.